everyone, nice to meet you here. Today we will talk about depression and we will briefly discuss about the definition, symptoms, causes, and treatments of depression. Firstly, we will talk about the definition. What is depression? Depression is a common but serious mood disorder which could negatively affect how we think, feel, and behave. Depression is a chronic condition which lasts normally longer than 3 to 6 months. It can make normal day-to-day activities difficult to complete, and in the worst case, depression could make people feel that the life is worthless and even lead to suicidal thoughts. Therefore, the whole society needs to pay higher attention to the treatments of depression. Secondly, we will talk about the symptoms of depression. Depression can take many different forms. Sometimes the signs and symptoms that indicate depression are obvious, such as feeling of hopelessness, emptiness, or sadness. However, in the other cases, symptoms of depression, such as feeling extremely tired or having trouble with thinking, could be less obvious. This means that some people, especially elderly people, could hide their true feeling and don't tell anyone about their depression. Therefore, it is sometimes not easy to detect the depressive symptoms on time. Other signs of depression include expressing anger and frustration over very small matters, losing interest in things people once enjoyed, like sports, hobbies, or playing with friends, having trouble sleeping or even sleeping too much, having little to no energy for small tasks, feeling very anxious, agitated, and restless, having some unexplained pain like headache, cramps, diarrhea, or back pain. People could think about death or suicide or even discuss about suicide repeatedly. People could also feel guilty, worthless, and have a sense of self-hatred, which means that they could hate themselves and have very poor self-esteem. People could either lose appetite or gain appetite. So some people with depression could lose weight, but other people with depression could eat a lot and gain weight as well. Now, what causes depression in the brain? Now, we know that certain parts of the brain regulate the mood. So different areas inside the brain plays different function, and some areas mainly manage our emotional feeling and control the mood. Next, we will talk about the neurotransmitters. Now, neurotransmitters are the chemicals that exist inside our brain to help the neurons, which is also the brain cells, to connect with each other to maintain the normal brain activity and maintain the normal functioning of the body. Neurotransmitters work continuously to keep the brain and bodies functioning normally. They help to manage a lot of things such as breathing, heartbeat, and movement of the body. So neurotransmitters play an important role. We know that inside our brain we have millions of neurons, and these neurons have to connect with each other and pass message to each other to maintain good electrical activities inside the brain. So neurotransmitters is very important in balancing the mood and maintaining a very good status of our brain. However, for people with depression, now these neurotransmitters could be unbalanced and could be released abnormally. So the patient's mood could change significantly as well. Now there are several important neurotransmitters. Now these neurotransmitters include norepinephrine, serotonin, dopamine, and glutamate. Now these neurotransmitters not only help the neurons or the brain cells to deliver message between each other, but also they play essential role in maintaining a stable and happy mood. So people with depression normally have reduced level of these neurotransmitters, especially serotonin, and dopamine. Now, serotonin helps the people to regulate mood. It sends messages throughout the brain and let us know when we need to eat, digest, and sleep. Serotonin sends signals that reduce pain, regulate anxiety, stimulate nausea, and help the people to feel good. Most of the serotonin in our body is in the digestive system and in the brain as well. So the serotonin can help people to have a good mood and also have good digestion. Serotonin regulate our emotional status. Regulate our emotional status. Next one, another important neurotransmitter is dopamine. Now, dopamine is known as a feeling good chemical. Dopamine sends positive signals related to the reward. When dopamine transmits a message between our neurons, our brains receive positive reinforcement, and we are encouraged to perform that dopamine triggering activity again. So dopamine help the people to feel pleasure, to feel happy, to have more motivation, have more passion on the certain things. Therefore, for patients with depression, their neurotransmitters, especially serotonin and dopamine, normally reduce, and which can make their patients have really low mood, because these neurotransmitters help to maintain a happy mood. So people with low level of dopamine and serotonin, they normally feel very unhappy, frustrated, and angry. And then if continuously, if these neurotransmitters continuously released low inside the brain, patient could have long-term depression. So how do we treat depression then? Now, there are several natural ways we can use to treat depression. Firstly, we can do exercise, and especially outdoor aerobic exercises under the sun. Now, the researchers found that both sunlight and outdoor exercises could stimulate your brain to release good amount of the neurotransmitters, especially serotonin and dopamine. So remember, if the weather is good and if there is enough sunlight, go outside and have a jogging or playing basketball in the park, and enjoy some outdoor activities with your friends, especially in the sunny days. Now, this could really significantly improve people's mood. Also, we could to treat depression. Now, people could take some healthy diet. Certain types of food could regulate our mood and promote the release of dopamine and serotonin. Now, this food include yogurt, beans, eggs, almonds, or foods high in certain proteins, and also the foods which contains good amount of probiotics. Now, this kind of foods are considered to be effective in promoting the neurotransmitter releasing inside the brain. We can also let the patients to listen to music. Now, music can boost your happy neurotransmitters in the brain. So listening to music, especially those music that gives you chills, can increase the dopamine production in the brain. Another thing is that we can do meditation. Meditation is a quiet exercise which requires you to sit in a nice position and focus and put all your attention on your breathing, and focus on your breathing and practice deep breathing and ignore all the other negative thoughts. Only focus on your own breathing. So meditation could help you to relieve the depression and promote your dopamine production as well, and to help you to concentrate more on your present moment. So these are some common treatments of depression. Now, however, if you do suffer serious depressive symptoms, and if you feel that it is very difficult to get better with those natural therapies, now finally you have to consult with your doctors to seek the support from medications. Doctor could prescribe some medications, but medication should be only used as a last option, because it could, all the medications, especially mental health medications, could have side effects and make people even suffer more other kind of health problems. Therefore, it's always the first option is always to try the natural therapies. Thank you very much for your listening. I hope then you have a little bit more understanding about depression. Thank you.